Hey, good morning, everybody. Rick White from 180 Biz here. We're a coaching and training company for the independent auto and truck repair shop industry, and I am so glad you're here. Let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about ask. What do I mean by that? A lot of times, what happens when somebody comes to you and asks you a question, what do? You give them an answer. Does that make sense? You just like, bam, give them an answer. So, I want you to think this through. It's just like get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done. But in the process of doing that, you're creating a prison for yourself. You're ending up in a situation, you're creating a prison for yourself in a way that's really, really hard to get out of because you're teaching everybody to come to you instead of figuring it out themselves. So I think this is a super, super important thing to think through. So what I want you to do is think through something a little bit different instead. Because when you give someone an answer, you give them a fish, right? But when you get them to think about it themselves, you teach them to fish, right? Would you rather feed them for the day or teach them how to feed themselves for a lifetime? That's pretty amazing. What I want you to be able to do is have a really simple process to remember this by. And it's the ASK framework that really, really works well. So, A, assume positive intent. So when they ask you a question, do not immediately think, oh my God, that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard, or anything else like that, because we don't know what it is. Okay. You got to assume positive intent. That's the first thing you got to do. Second thing you've got to do is seek to understand. You got to be able to step back and understand. Don't just answer the question, right? Because here's the biggest mistake we make in communication. The biggest mistake we make in communication is where we listen to someone's words and apply our meaning. That does not work. You got to seek to understand. You got to seek to understand what their question really means, number one. But then, number two, you've got to understand the story around it. You got to understand not just this little sliver of it, but what's the context around it, not just the content. So you got to be able to have that as well. Okay. So assume positive intent and then seek to understand. And the last part of this is K, which is keep asking. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you got to keep asking questions. So when they ask a question and you go, well, what do you mean? Or tell me more. So you're going to start to dig in so that you do get better at understanding what their real issue is. Maybe it's a piece of equipment your tech has never used before. Or maybe they're wondering if it's missing a piece, but they don't know how to ask you that. Or maybe they're concerned about how something's going to land when they start. So they just ask a very kind of weird question in the beginning. What you've got to be able to do is step back, assume positive intent, seek to understand, and keep asking questions. I want to make sure you understand this concept. Don't give people answers. When you give people answers, you create a prison. And that prison means your business falls apart every single time you walk away because you're not growing thinkers, you're growing doers. And they're only going to do when you tell them. And that doesn't work. You've got to be able to step back and invest in your team. And one of the best ways is to believe in them and then use this ask framework. So, if this resonates with you, please share this video. We need your help to get this word out. Assume positive intent, seek to understand, and keep asking questions. Those three things make all the difference in the world. And I guarantee you, in the beginning, it's going to be a little frustrating, but man, in a week or two, you're going to be amazed at the difference in your team. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Y'all have a great week, and I will see you next week. Take care. Go make some money. We'll see ya. Bye bye.